So we'll begin on our mats and softly closing our eyes and draw attention to your breath. Checking in with your body and just determining what do you need from this practice today. Do you need to take it a little bit easy, or do you need to push yourself a little bit? So inhale fully, filling up the lungs, and then exhale, let it all out. And continuing to breathe nice and deep. Maybe coming into Ujjayi breath. So today's intention, we're continuing transitions. So transitions not only in yoga, but also transitions in life, like many of us are experiencing with this COVID-19 and adapting, all the adaptations we have to make because of that. So Proverbs 3, 5 through 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take." Let's begin to move into seated spinal circles, inhaling forward and exhale, rounding the back. So as we practice today, if we run across a pose that doesn't feel quite right with your body, feel free to either modify the pose or skip it and join up in the next pose. And then switch the feet in reverse direction, inhaling forward, exhale, rounding the back. Moving the spine in all directions. We need to do every single day. And then go ahead and come up on the hands and knees and tabletop. And spread those fingers out wide, starfish hands. Shoulders, elbows, and wrists are stacked. Tuck the toes under. Slight arch in the back. If you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, you only want to go 70% in this. So inhale, cow. And then exhale and tuck the toes round the back into cat. And then inhale back into cow and exhale cat. So just continuing to flow back and forth between cat and cow with the breath. And then come back to tabletop, take the hands up just a little bit, tuck the toes under, coming up into plank, and then pushing on up into down dog, sending the hips high to the sky, and then melting the heart towards the mat. The ears need to be in between the biceps, so you don't want to be up on the shoulders like that. It's too hard on the shoulders. So in other words, when you're in down dog, you should be reaching up just like this, with the ears between the biceps. So go ahead and pedal out your feet, walking out your dog. And then looking forward, walking up to the hands. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then bend the knees, rolling on up, reaching high to the sky. And clasp the hands together. And forefingers pointed upward. Exhale, leaning over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the left. And inhale, center. Exhale, bending the elbows, cactus arms. Inhale, clasp the hands behind the back, showing the heart. Exhale, fold. And we'll take a couple of breaths In this fold, feeling the nice shoulder stretch. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Release the hands, bend the knees, and roll back up, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. So moving into Sun A with the Lord's Prayer. Hands are heart center as we say our Father. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Who art in heaven. Exhale, fold. Hallowed be thy name. Inhale, halfway lift. Thy kingdom come. Exhale, hands to the mat, feet back, thy will be done. And then shift the shoulders forward, or you can come from knees, lower all the way to the mat. As we say, on earth as it is in heaven. Inhale, baby cobra, hovering the hands above the mat. Give us this day our daily bread. Exhale, pushing up into down dog. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Walking forward to the hands. Lead us not into temptation. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. But deliver us from evil. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Amen. So moving on into our flow. We'll grab a block. So talking about transitions, we're going to come to the top of our mat and then shift the weight to the left foot, spread the left toes wide, and then inhale the arms up and the knee up, flexing the foot. Finding your balance. And then transitioning, exhale, transitioning into Warrior 3 with airplane arms. And then inhale, back up, whoops, into single leg standing. Exhale, Warrior 3. And then inhale, back up, single leg standing. And then exhale. This time we're going to come into dancer pose. So you want to pretend like you're holding a pizza with your right hand and clasp the inside arch of the right foot. And then kick on up into dancer. Or you can just hold it right here. And then exhale, step back into Crescent Lunge. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Feeling that nice stretch on the top of the right leg. And then exhale, we're going to sweep the left arm around and then twist to the left side. Inhale, pinwheel the arms, transitioning into Warrior 2 towards the back. So you want the right knee stacked above the right ankle and the arms parallel above the earth. Shoulders are relaxed. Taking an inhale and then exhale. Coming into side angles, so maybe taking the block on the inside with the right foot and sending the arms vertical. And then setting the block aside, inhale up into star pose, pivoting the feet, toes pointed at the corners. Exhale, horse or Texas horse. And then inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, pivoting the right foot sideways on the mat, left foot to the top of the mat. Right hip goes back. Reach forward with that left hand. Maybe grab the block on the inside of the left foot. And then arms vertical. Feeling a nice stretch in the inner left thigh. Slight bend in the knee. And then setting this block aside. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand comes up. Right knee, left knee stacks above the left ankle. And then exhale, cartwheel down. And bring the left leg back. And coming into our flow, you can do it from the knees. And then lower all the way down to the belly, hugging the elbows in. And then inhale, hover the hands in baby cobra. Glutes are relaxed during this. The strength comes from the back. And then exhale, pushing back into down dog. Or another option to flow is from a plank, hands and toes, and then shift the weight forward just slightly. Exhale all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes. And then push up, strong core, so that just the tops of the feet and hands are on the mat. And then exhale, down dog. And then walking or hopping up to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then bend the knees, rolling up. Reaching to the sky. And then I'm going to switch sides so my back won't be to you. So this time, shifting the weight to the right foot and bringing the left knee up. Finding your balance. And then exhale, transitioning into warrior three with airplane arms. Flexing that left foot. Inhale back into single leg standing. And exhale, warrior three. And then inhale back up, single leg standing. And then exhale this time, coming into dancer, clasping the inside arch of the left foot. And then maybe leaning forward and kicking up in that foot. And then release, step back into crescent pose. Arms to the sky. And then exhale, sweep that right hand around, twist to the right. And then inhale, pinwheel the arms, transitioning into warrior two to the back of the mat. Maybe finding your block. Before we exhale, into side angle pose. Sending the arms 6 and 12. And then inhale back up into star pose. Toes to the corner. Exhale, horse. Or Texas style horse. And then inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, clasp the hands behind the back. Shine the heart forward. Take the feet parallel to the edges of the mat. And then fold. And you might want to grab a block for this, if you like. And then inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, the block. And then taking an exhale. Inhale, left arm goes up. Exhale, down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, down. And then take the toes to the corners of the mat, set the block aside, bend the knees, and sweep on up into star pose. And then setting up for triangle pose, so the right foot, right toes go to the top of the mat, left hip back, reaching with that right arm, and talk the arms to 6 and 12. And then bend that right knee, set the block aside, reaching up with that right hand, high five to the back, reverse warrior. And then exhale, cartwheeling the hands down, sending the right foot back, and coming into the flow of your choice, either from the knees or the toes. And then coming down on your knees, taking the knees to the sides of the mat, toes together, and reaching up to the top of the mat, resting the forehead on the mat, child's pose. So coming up into scorpion pose, so rolling on the insides of the knees, bringing the toes up, slide arch in the back, and then exhale back. And then inhale back into scorpion, exhale back. And then coming back up, we're going to take the knees together, toes are tucked under, and then coming up into kneeling plank. And then lowering, hugging those elbows in, lowering all the way to the mat, and tucking the toes. Inhale, push up with the hands into cobra pose. And then exhale down, tuck the toes under, and pushing back into a modified child's pose with the knees together, toes tucked under. So we're going to flow through this, through a kneeling plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, modified child's pose, toes tucked under. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale down, tuck the toes under, and coming back into child's pose. One more time, inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale down. And then inhale up, exhale, child's pose. And then go ahead and come up into down dog. Inhale the right heel to the sky. Exhale, right knee comes to the mat. Inhale, left leg forward. So take the hands, the left hand on the inside of the foot. You might need to heel toe the left foot out to the edge of the mat. Coming into lizard pose. And you can use a block for lizard if you like. Or come to the hands or the elbows. Just enjoying the nice stretch on the inner thigh. And then make your way back up to your hands or set the block aside, tuck the back toes under, and then take the left foot back, coming into down dog. This time inhale, left heel to the sky. Exhale, left knee to the mat. Inhale, right foot forward. Heel toe that right foot out. And bring the right hand on the inside of the right foot. And again, you can use the block if you want to be more upright. Or come to the hands or elbows. Make your way back up to your hands or set the block aside. Tuck the back toes under. And then send the right foot back. And then go ahead and come to your back. And before you get on your back, you might want to grab a strap or an old belt or a roll-up towel. So coming to your back, you want to bend the knees And then cross the right ankle above the left knee. And then thread the hands behind the left thigh. Coming into supine pigeon or figure four stretch. So flex the right toes to protect the knee. And just maybe, I like to gently rock back and forth in this. Feeling the nice stretch on the outer right hip. Coming back to our breath. Maybe coming into Ujjayi breath. Slight constriction in the back of your throat to help slow down your breath and calm your nervous system. And then go ahead and release. And we're going to keep our leg crossed. Send the arms out to the side. And then let the right foot fall over to the left, keeping the shoulders on the mat. Coming into a twist. And then use your left hand to guide that knee back over and then switch. So left ankle above the right knee, flex that left foot, and then clasp the hands behind the right thigh. Flex the left foot to protect the knee. Feeling that nice stretch on the outer left thigh. Keeping that piriformis muscle nice and flexible, so to help prevent sciatica. And then go ahead and release, set the right foot on the mat, arms come out to the sides, and then allow the left foot to fall over to the right side, keeping the shoulders on the mat. And use your right hand to guide that knee back over. And we're going to take the feet up and bend the knees and begin to rock, rounding the back as you rock. And then come up to seated. And coming into boat pose, so leaning back, drawing the shoulders back, and the arms, palms facing up, and then tilting back, or maybe toes could be touching the mat, or balance, or the full pose. And then tuck, look behind, make sure you're not going to rock on anything, and round the back and roll. And coming back up into boat pose. And then tuck and round the back and roll. And one more time, boat pose. Continuing to breathe as you hold the pose. And then tuck and roll. Rock that boat. And then coming up on the knees, we're going to transition, so tuck the feet under, and coming back into garland pose or malasana. So the feet should be flat on the mat, toes pointed forward. So if your heels are up off the mat, that's okay. If your hamstrings are tight, that might happen. Elbows are in between the knees, and bring the hands into prayer. And the back should be straight. You don't want a rounded back in this. So So sitting up tall. And then go ahead and crawl forward, coming to your tummy and resting your right ear on the mat. And then inhale, airplane arms, and take the feet up off the mat, coming into Locust Pose. Pretend like you're flying, like if you're in the Denver area, we had a bunch of planes fly over today. It was quite the air show. And then exhale, left ear on the mat. Bend the knees, maybe find the feet. And then kicking up into downward facing wheel. Keeping the knees in line with the hips, hip joints. And then release, pushing on up. And coming to your back. And then bring the heels so that your fingertips can brush the back of the heels. So setting up for bridge pose. So in bridge pose, you want to make sure your focus is up at the ceiling. You don't want to look right or left during the pose. So if you don't know what bridge pose is, watch first and then do it. So tuck the hips under, like roll the pelvic bowl up, and then peel the vertebrae off the mat. And then maybe tuck the shoulders under, keep the knees in line with the hip joints. And if you like, you can clasp the hands behind the back. Continuing to breathe. And then make sure you can swallow in this pose. If not, you need to reposition your neck. And then go ahead, release the hands and tuck the shoulders and lower one vertebrae at a time. And then bring the hands to the knees and circle the knees, massaging the lower back. And reverse direction. And then give yourself a hug around the knees. And send the legs out long. Arms come down along the sides. Palms facing up, setting up for Shavasana. Eyes are softly closed. And just allow the feet to splay out. If it's uncomfortable for your lower back to lie like that, you might try bending the knees, taking the soles of the feet to the side edges of the mat, and knock the knees together. Just gives your lower back a little more support. So just tuning into your body and allowing it to relax. Allowing the muscles to melt into the mat. Moving the jaw around and letting it relax. Wiggle the eyebrows, relax the forehead. And we'll take about 30 seconds of silence. So begin to bring movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. And circling the wrists and the ankles, first one way, then the other. And And then reach up arms above the head for a nice long stretch. And then roll over to the side, resting your head in the crook of your arm. And just take a moment of thanksgiving. What are you thankful for today? And when you're ready, go ahead and push up into seated. So in closing, I'd like to read Psalms 32, 8 through 9. The Lord says, I will guide you along the best pathway for your life. I will advise you and watch over you. Do not be like a senseless horse or mule that needs a bit and bridle to keep it under control. So he wants us to have common sense. So the light in me honors and adores the light in you. Namaste. So thank you for joining me in your practice, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.